Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the local bourse that has been trading in the green today. We also had a stabilizing of the currency back at just over 18 Rand 30 against the US dollar. So seeming that even after all the drama of the budget that was delayed yesterday, the markets are on solid ground locally. We also do have the G20 foreign ministers meeting taking place in South Africa. That's in a two-day meeting. So looking at the local market, the all share up by 0.6%. That largely being carried by the Resources 10 complex that has rocketed almost 3.5%. Of course, we've seen the gold miners really showing off on that front. Industrial 25 with a slight gain of 0.15%, but backing that trend is the Financial 15 shedding more than 0.25%. Let's take a look at the U.S. markets, and investors over there are digesting the Fed's minutes that came out last night. And quite interesting that the policymakers expressed concern over the impact of tariffs on the inflation picture. Also having some results trickling in. We did have retailer Walmart's shares dropping by about 4%, even though they did beat estimates on revenue and earnings, but giving us a softer guidance on that front. Looking at those markets, the S&P 500 coming off a record high, declining almost 2/3%. Tech-heavy Nasdaq down by almost 0.75%, and the Dow there with a loss just shy of 1%. Let's take a look at the European markets, and a mixed picture on that front. We are seeing the FTSE 100 leading the losses that we are seeing there, declining almost 0.4%. The DAX relatively flat, just 0.01% below that flat line. And in green territory is the CAC 40 that's climbed almost 0.33%. Let's take a look at the currency scene and start off with how the Rand is doing against some of the major currencies. As I mentioned, the Rand over 18 Rand 30 against the US dollar. Of course, yesterday around this time, it was at about 18 Rand 59, 18 Rand 56. Against the pound at 23 Rand 23, and against the euro at 19 Rand 24. Let's take a look at how the other currency pairs are performing. Euro dollar at 1.04. Pound dollar at 1.26, and a strengthening of the yen against the dollar just below 150 against that currency.